Imagine stepping into a brand new office. It's full of potential, buzzing with ideas and activity. You see colleagues collaborating, documents zipping across screens, maybe the quiet hum of productivity in the air. It all feels, well, exciting, vibrant. But then someone says, could you grab the report from the printer before the meeting and make sure to scan the signed contract for compliance? And suddenly, that bustling environment feels a little foreign. Maybe your brain freezes for a second, wondering if the printer is the scanner or if you're even looking at the right machine. It happens, right? It's a pretty common moment of hesitation, and it can feel incredibly isolating, not to mention just plain inefficient. Well, if that sounds at all familiar, you're absolutely in the right place today, because this deep dive is specifically tailored for you. We're going to demystify the essential English vocabulary for common office equipment. We're taking a really close look at everyday office English essentials. It's a fantastic resource, really. Acts as a kind of linguistic shortcut designed to give you, well, instant confidence in your workplace communication. Our mission today is crystal clear. We want to arm you with the precise words and also the nuanced understanding you need to navigate any office setting with ease, really. We'll help you understand those everyday conversations, confidently make requests, and absolutely banish those awkward moments, where you're not quite sure what piece of equipment someone is actually referring to. We're going beyond just simple definitions today. We're diving deep into how these words are used in real-world situations, exploring their practical implications, and helping them stick in your mind like super glue.
Exactly. And we promise you, this won't be some dry lecture or just like a list of terms you have to memorize. We'll connect the dots. We'll offer insights into why understanding these seemingly simple terms can actually have a profound impact, a big impact on your daily efficiency, your perceived professionalism, and your overall confidence in the office. This isn't merely about what to say, but why saying the right thing at the right time with the right word really matters. It's about building bridges of clear communication, not walls of misunderstanding in your professional interactions. It's key.
Okay, so let's truly unpack this. Let's dig in. We're diving headfirst into the absolute core vocabulary for office equipment, starting with the most fundamental items, the stuff you'll encounter almost every single day. And these aren't just, inanimate objects collecting dust in a corner. They are the foundational pieces of any productive workspace. They're the tools that enable everything from simple note-taking to complex project management. And knowing their names accurately, along with their functions, well, that's the very first critical step to mastering your office environment.
It's truly fascinating when you think about it, isn't it? The seemingly mundane act of naming an object correctly has such far-reaching implications for workplace efficiency, for interpersonal dynamics. So why is it so crucial to know these specific terms with unwavering accuracy? Well, precision in language, even for something as common as a desk or a printer, it's the bedrock of effective communication. It really is. It gets rid of miscommunication before it even starts. It saves precious time by eliminating guesswork or, the need for clarification, and ultimately fosters a more efficient, collaborative, and, frankly, less stressful working environment. It's the invisible groundwork for seamless collaboration, making sure that when you ask for something, you not only get exactly what you need, but you also convey competence, professionalism.
Absolutely. Let's begin with your personal home base in the office. The very first item listed in Everyday Office English Essentials, the desk. Our source defines it simply as a piece of furniture where you work. Pretty basic. It offers the illustrative example. I keep my laptop and books on my desk. Now that sounds incredibly straightforward, right? But I want you to think of your desk as more than just a surface. It's like your personal command center. It's where your essential tools are, your immediate resources, your current projects, and often, yes, your favorite coffee mug or maybe even your stress ball are organized right there. It's the physical space where you gather your thoughts, plan your day, and execute your tasks. Well-organized desk can genuinely be a reflection of an organized mind. And it certainly helps you find what you need without losing precious minutes searching for that elusive document or charger. We've all been there.
And to expand on that idea of the desk as a personal command center, it's worth noting how the whole concept of my desk has dramatically evolved, especially with modern office trends. Things like hot desking, where you don't have a permanently assigned spot.
Right, that's becoming more common.
Or hybrid work models, where your home office might double as your desk for part of the week. In some dynamic environments, my desk might actually be a different desk every single day, or even a different room entirely depending on the task. Yet, the fundamental idea of a personal workspace, a dedicated spot where you can focus, organize your immediate tasks, and maybe claim a temporary sense of ownership that remains absolutely key. key for concentration and sustained productivity.
Yeah, that focus aspect is huge.
Whether it's a dedicated spot you return to daily or a flexible one you choose on arrival, that physical or designated mental space is where the deep focus work happens. And what's truly interesting beyond just physical organization is the psychological impact of a well-ordered desk. Research actually suggests that a tidy workspace can reduce cognitive load. It frees up mental energy.
Oh, that makes sense. Less clutter, less distraction.
Exactly. It minimizes distractions and creates a conducive environment for focused work. And here's a less obvious insight. Beyond merely being tidy, the personalization of a desk. Even with just a small photo or a plan, that can significantly boost an employee's sense of belonging and well-being.
Even in hot desking.
Even in hot desking environments, yes. This small act of claiming space, even temporarily, can profoundly impact morale and connection. It's quite powerful.
Absolutely. And usually inextricably paired with that desk is your trusty chair. Our source describes it as something you sit on at your desk. With the straightforward example, my office chair is very comfortable. Simple enough. And let's be honest, for many of us, a comfortable chair isn't just a luxury, is it? For those long hours staring at a screen, poring over documents, or engaging in intense virtual meetings, it's an absolute necessity. A poorly designed or uncomfortable chair can genuinely turn a potentially productive day into a literal pain in the neck, or back, or shoulders. It impacts not just physical comfort, but also mental focus. It really does.
Indeed. And connecting this to the broader importance of employee well-being, even the simple act of mentioning a chair's comfort reflects a common underlying workplace sentiment. And it's growing in importance. Companies are increasingly investing significant resources in ergonomic chairs, adjustable desks, other supportive furniture.
You see that a lot more now.
Because they understand that physical comfort directly impacts an employee's health, their morale, and crucially, their long-term productivity and retention. A comfortable chair isn't just about the immediate feeling of sitting, it's about supporting your body through hours of work, reducing fatigue, preventing repetitive strain injuries, and ultimately allowing you to maintain focus and energy levels throughout the day.
It makes a huge difference to your whole day.
Absolutely. And here's a subtle insight. The quality of the office chair provided can often be an unspoken indicator of how much a company values its employees' health and comfort. It's a small but significant element of a truly supportive work environment, moving beyond just basic functionality to a more holistic view of employee care.
That's a great point. Okay, moving on now to what our source unequivocally calls the most important tool in the office today, the computer. The example given is, I use my computer to check emails and write reports. And truly, it's almost impossible to imagine a modern office functioning efficiently, or even at all, without one these days, can you?
Not really, no.
The computer is, without exaggeration, the central nervous system of modern work. Everything from basic communication to incredibly complex data analysis, creative design, strategic planning, it all happens through this device.
Precisely. And to expand on why it's the most important tool, it's far more than just a machine for checking emails and writing reports. It's the indispensable gateway. A gateway to an almost infinite amount of information, the primary conduit for communication real-time, asynchronous, and the powerful engine behind nearly all digital work processes. Beyond those basic functions, your computer connects you to global teams, allows instant access to vast databases, enables complex financial modeling.
Design work, sophisticated design work, yeah? Essential for project management and collaboration platforms. It's all about connectivity, immense processing power, and instant access to a world of resources. Resources that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. Its pivotal role cannot be overstated. It's truly the brain of the modern worker, enabling unparalleled efficiency, seamless collaboration, continuous innovation, and a less obvious aspect, the evolution of the personal computer, from a shared resource to this ubiquitous individual tool that dramatically democratized access to information and data analysis.
That's true. It used to be quite different.
Exactly. Previously, only specialized departments had access to powerful computing. Now, almost every knowledge worker has their own mini supercomputer, right? And that's profoundly changed problem-solving and decision-making processes across all levels of an organization. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely transformative. Okay, now let's talk about what I like to call the document trio: the printer, scanner, and photocopier. These three are incredibly common, but they're also very often confused. And understandably so, because they all deal with documents. Easy to mix up.
Our source tells us a printer is a machine that prints documents on paper. With the example, can you print this report for me? Straightforward. Then we have a scanner, described as a device that copies paper documents into digital form, as in we need to scan this contract and email it. And finally, the photocopier, which is a machine that makes copies of paper documents, illustrated by that all too common cry, "The photocopier is out of order again."
Huh. Yes. And this trio is exactly where precision in terminology becomes absolutely critical for smooth operations. It really does. What's truly fascinating here is understanding the distinct direction and purpose of information flow for each device. Think of it like this. The printer takes something that exists only in the digital realm, a file on your computer, a web page, an email,
Right.
and makes it physical, puts it onto paper. It's a digital to physical conversion.
Okay, digital to physical. Got it.
The scanner, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. It takes a physical document, a paper contract, a handwritten note, and converts it into a digital file, a file that can be saved, edited, or emailed. That's a physical to digital transformation.
Physical to digital. Okay, the reverse.
Exactly. And the photocopier, that's all about replication. It takes an existing physical document and makes more physical copies of it. It's purely physical to physical, usually in bulk, and without changing the original format, just making duplicates.
Physical to physical.
Yeah.
Okay, that clarifies it nicely.
Yeah.
Digital to physical, physical to digital, physical to physical.
Precisely. And the practical implications of misusing these terms, even in a simple request, are surprisingly significant. Imagine asking a colleague to scan a report that you desperately need a paper copy of for an immediate meeting.
Oh, right. Disaster.
They might send you a digital file, causing confusion, frustration, and critical delays. Or you might unintentionally say, "Can you photocopy this email?" when what you actually mean is print. In a fast-paced environment where deadlines loom and information needs to flow seamlessly, such miscommunications can lead to wasted time, incorrect task completion, even critical errors, especially with important documents like legal contracts or financial reports.
Yeah, you really need to be clear.
It highlights why precise requests, using the absolutely correct terminology, are paramount,
Yeah.
not just for efficiency, but for avoiding major headaches. And a quick tip. Many modern offices now use multifunction devices, or MFDs.
Ah, yes, the all-in-one machine.
Exactly. They combine all three capabilities, print, scan, and copy into one machine. But even with an MFD, specifying the function you need, like, could you print this, or can you scan this to PDF, is still crucial for clarity. Don't just point at the machine.
Good advice. Okay, switching gears slightly, let's look at the ever-present telephone. Our source simply states it's used to make calls, with the example, "Please answer the office phone while I'm away." In today's incredibly connected world, this term can cover a range of technologies, can't it?
Oh, definitely.
A traditional landline desk phone, maybe a dedicated VoIP system running on your computer, or even a shared mobile device for office use. But regardless of the tech, its core function remains constant. Direct vocal communication, often for specific professional purposes.
And that's the key distinction, isn't it? When we talk about the office phone, it often implies the main external line, or maybe a shared resource for clients, or just a dedicated work communication device intentionally distinct from your personal mobile phone.
Right, there's usually a difference.
It emphasizes its vital role in structured external communications dealing with clients, partners, official inquiries, and also internal communication within the team where immediate, direct interaction is needed. While other communication methods like email, instant messaging, video conferencing are increasingly prevalent, the telephone remains absolutely essential for immediate, nuanced conversations, urgent problem solving, critical decision-making.
Sometimes you just need to talk it through.
Exactly, where tone of voice, empathy, and real-time interaction are paramount. It also often implies a certain level of professionalism and directness. It signals an issue that warrants immediate personal attention. And here's a less obvious but crucial insight. In a globalized office, telephone etiquette can vary significantly by culture.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, in some cultures, an unannounced phone call might be seen as an interruption. Quite rude, actually. While in others, a prompt phone call for an urgent matter is expected. It signals respect and seriousness. Understanding these subtle cultural nuances beyond just knowing the word telephone is a truly advanced communication insight. It can prevent missteps in international business.
That's fascinating, something to keep in mind. Okay, now for a couple of analog mainstays, things that, despite our hyper-digital world, absolutely refuse to become obsolete. the notebook and the pen. Our source defines a notebook as a small book with blank pages for writing notes and gives the example, I always bring a notebook to meetings, common practice. And a pen is simply something you use to write, as in, can I borrow your pen, another classic office request. Even with all our tablets, laptops, smartphones, these simple tools endure. There's something wonderfully immediate, tangible, and often deeply personal about jotting down a thought, sketching an idea, or even just doodling with a pen on paper.
You're absolutely right. Their enduring relevance is fascinating, isn't it? Even in a world saturated with digital tools. Why do they remain essential? Well, for quick thoughts, spontaneous brainstorming, or just avoiding the constant digital distractions of a screen during a focused meeting, a notebook and pen are invaluable. They really are. They offer a tangible, often more effective way to process information, generate ideas, and improve memory retention compared to typing.
I find that too. Writing things down helps me remember.
Exactly. The physical act of handwriting engages different cognitive processes. It leads to deeper encoding of information. Furthermore, they represent readiness and active engagement in meetings. Seeing someone taking notes with a pen and notebook doesn't just show they're present, it signals they are actively listening, processing, committed. And that can profoundly influence how their colleagues perceive their attentiveness and professional commitment.
It looks like you're paying attention.
It does. It's a low-tech, high-impact solution to high-tech problems like digital fatigue and information overload. And here's a specific insight. Studies from Princeton and UCLA have actually shown this. Students who take notes by hand perform better on conceptual questions than those who type.
Really? Why is that?
Because handwriting encourages processing and summarizing rather than just, transcribing word for word like you might when typing fast. That's a powerful argument for the trusty notebook and pen in the workplace.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, last but certainly not least, in this foundational section, we have the ubiquitous whiteboard. It's described as a large board for writing or drawing with markers, with the example, the teacher wrote the schedule on the whiteboard. Makes sense. While initially common in educational settings, whiteboards have become absolutely fantastic for collaboration in the office, haven't they?
Oh, indispensable in many places.
They're where ideas get big, messy, iterative, and then, ideally, organized. All in real time. There's something so dynamic, so engaging about a group of people standing around a whiteboard, sketching out processes, mapping project timelines, or brainstorming new concepts together. It fosters a very different kind of interaction than just staring at a shared screen.
Indeed, the whiteboard truly embodies the power of visual communication and collaborative brainstorming. In a uniquely effective way, it's a large, shared, mutable canvas. Ideas can be freely explored, refined, connected, erased, without permanence until a consensus is reached. This encourages a sense of psychological safety, for participants to contribute even half-formed thoughts.
Yeah, less pressure than typing something permanent.
Exactly. It's an interactive space for problem-solving, mind mapping, agile stand-ups, project planning, allowing complex information to be broken down visually and understood by all team members simultaneously. In many ways, it fosters a level of dynamic physical interaction and spontaneous creativity that digital screens often struggle to replicate, making it a cornerstone of creative and strategic thinking in any office setting. And for a deeper insight, the act of standing and moving around a whiteboard during a brainstorming session isn't just about visuals. It can actually stimulate blood flow to the brain, enhancing creativity and problem-solving abilities compared to just sitting around the table.
Physical movement helps thinking. Interesting.
It's a subtle physical trigger for mental agility.
Okay, so we've identified these essential tools, understood their core definitions, and even dug into some of the deeper implications of why they matter in a modern office. But knowing the words in isolation is just the beginning, right?
Just the first step.
Here's where it gets really interesting and practical. Next, we'll hear them come alive, in action, in a natural office conversation. Right. Now that we have the essential vocabulary hopefully firming up in our minds, let's hear how these terms come to life in a natural office dialogue, directly from our source material. Pay very close attention to how seamlessly they flow in conversation, and crucially, how they're used not just to name objects, but to solve real-world office problems and coordinate tasks. This isn't just an exercise in listening, it's about understanding the practical rhythm of office communication. Okay, listen closely to this exchange between two colleagues. Let's call them Maya and Alex. They're preparing for an unexpected client visit. Maya starts.
Hey, Alex, quick question. Do you have a spare pen? Mine just decided to run out of ink right before I need to sign these urgent documents.
Oh, classic timing. Happens all the time. Alex replies, oh, classic timing. Sure, here's one. And actually, speaking of urgent documents, could you lend me a hand with the photocopier? It's flashing an error message, and I need to make 5 copies of this client brief for the meeting that just got moved up. Maya then says, no problem at all, let's take a look. After we sort that out, I also need to use the printer to get the latest version of the presentation slides onto paper. The client prefers hard copies for review.
Good thinking. Always good to check client preferences.
Alex continues, good call. While we're doing that, I'll quickly set up my laptop on my desk and open up the digital version of the brief. And I'll definitely bring my notebook to the meeting to jot down any new action items or client feedback. I find I remember things better when I write them down. Maya agrees. Me too. And if we need to quickly brainstorm any last-minute adjustments to the presentation before the client arrives, the whiteboard in meeting room A is free. We can map out some key points there.
Smart use of resources.
Finally, Alex says, perfect. Oh, and the main office phone just rang. I think it might be the client confirming their arrival time. Can you grab it? Okay. Did you notice how Maya and Alex seamlessly integrated all those words? Pen, photocopier, printer, laptop, desk, notebook, whiteboard, and office phone, all woven into a rapid, problem-solving, collaborative situation.
Very natural.
It's not just a simple list of words, it's a living, breathing conversation where these items are integral to getting critical work done, interacting respectfully, and staying organized under pressure. They quickly identify needs, offer help, coordinate actions, all through precise vocabulary.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating here is how this dialogue isn't merely a demonstration of terms. It genuinely showcases common office problems, polite requests, efficient coordination, all in action. Let's really break it down. First, consider the problem-solving focus. My pen ran out of ink. The photocopier is flashing an error message.
These are universal office dilemmas, right?
Absolutely. We've all been there. Think about it. How often have you faced these exact issues? The correct terminology allows for immediate, clear communication of these specific problems. If Maya had just said, my writing tool is broken, or Alex said, the copy machine is jammed, there might be a moment of confusion or need for clarification.
Yeah, writing tool is pretty vague.
Right. By using pen and photocopier, they instantly convey the precise item and its malfunction, leading to efficient resolution and understanding. No guesswork needed. This dialogue also beautifully illustrates the interdependence and collaboration that are hallmarks of any functional office. Asking for a spare pen or for help with the photocopier. It clearly demonstrates the collaborative nature of office work.
You rely on each other.
You do. Very few tasks are completed in total isolation. Equipment often requires human interaction, whether it's sharing a resource, troubleshooting a problem, or coordinating a task. And the polite requests, do you have a spare pen? Could you lend me a hand? Are also crucial. They show respect, foster a positive working relationship, fundamental to a productive team.
Politeness goes a long way.
It really does. Furthermore, the mention of using the printer to get the latest version of the presentation slides and bringing a notebook to the meeting to jot down action items. This demonstrates proactive preparation for a core task, that client meeting. This shows that these pieces of equipment aren't just for immediate, reactive problem solving. They are seamlessly integrated into the proactive planning and execution of daily, often urgent, work.
You're just part of the workflow.
Exactly. It highlights the routine, yet critical way these items are woven into the very fabric of office life and professional output. And finally, there's a subtle but profoundly important point about implicit versus explicit communication and professional awareness. Alex mentioning setting up his laptop on his desk shows a readiness to work from his personal station, while Maya's suggestion of the whiteboard in meeting room A implies a shared knowledge of available collaborative spaces. You both know where room A is and that it has a whiteboard.
Right, that shared understanding.
The request for a spare pen implies the existence of shared resources and a culture of mutual support. Even the office phone ringing and Maya being asked to grab it shows an understanding of shared responsibility for incoming communications. This kind of implied understanding and shared knowledge is built on a foundation of clear, shared vocabulary and a general understanding of office norms and urgency. Imagine again if Maya had just said, my writing tool is broken. The context would be entirely lost. Efficiency would plummet as Alex tried to figure out what was needed, especially in a time-sensitive situation.
Yeah, especially with a client arriving soon.
Precisely. This powerfully highlights why clarity, even in simple exchanges, is absolutely paramount. It prevents unnecessary back and forth, ensures tasks are understood and completed correctly, and maintains a smooth, professional workflow.
That's such an incredibly important point. I really encourage you, the listener to visualize yourself in these kinds of dynamic situations. Mentally practice how you would respond or initiate these requests using the precise vocabulary we've covered. It's a fantastic, low-stakes way to solidify this new language. So what does this all mean for your everyday communication and confidence? Let's solidify this knowledge even further with some indispensable practical phrases and then a quick check of your understanding. All right, so we've identified the essential equipment. We've heard it come alive in a rich, real-world dialogue. Now let's arm you with some indispensable, ready-to-use phrases. Things you'll encounter and use constantly in an office setting. These aren't just isolated sentences. They're common calls to action, polite requests, vital statements of fact, the backbone of daily office interaction. Mastering these will significantly boost your fluency and confidence. It really will. Our source provides us with 4 incredibly useful workplace expressions, each one packed with meaning and practical application. Let's look at them. First up, the printer is out of ink.
The classic.
Yes. This is a statement of a very common office problem, something you will undoubtedly hear or say surprisingly often. It clearly identifies the equipment, the printer, and its specific issue out of ink. This indicates an immediate need for maintenance, a refill, or maybe just finding another printer for that moment. Understanding this phrase is key to troubleshooting or knowing when to find an alternative. You might also hear variations, right? Like, the printer is out of paper, or the printer is jammed.
All signaling a common hiccup in workflow. You need to know what they mean.
Exactly. Okay, second phrase. Please bring your notebook to the meeting. This is a clear, concise instruction, directly linking specific equipment in the notebook to a specific, vital activity, a meeting. It emphasizes readiness, active participation, and the expectation of capturing important information.
Yeah, it sets an expectation.
It does. This simple phrase implicitly communicates the value of note-taking and preparedness in that particular organizational culture. You could also hear things like, remember your notebook for the brainstorming session, or don't forget your pen for signing the forms. Similar idea. Third phrase, let's connect the projector for the presentation. This expression highlights collaboration and the technical setup required for a very common office activity presentations.
Usually involves fiddling with cables.
Yes. It often implies a need for technical assistance, or at least a shared responsibility for preparation. It's an invitation to work together to ensure technology supports the communication goals. You might also encounter related phrases like, is the projector compatible with my laptop? Or, can someone help me set up the projector? Very common. And fourth, could you pass me the stapler, please? Now, you might notice the word stapler here. It wasn't in our initial essential list of larger equipment. This perfectly illustrates a crucial point. Office vocabulary expands organically as you encounter more items. You learn the core, the big-ticket items first, maybe, and then you naturally pick up other useful, smaller desk supplies as you go, based on real-world needs and daily interactions.
Like asking for staples or paper clips.
Exactly. This phrase itself, could you pass me the stapler, please, is a polite, direct request for a small but often critical piece of desk equipment. It shows how even minor items are important for completing tasks like organizing documents. Similarly, you might ask for a paperclip, sticky notes, or scissors. These are all part of that expanding toolkit of office words.
And if we truly connect these phrases to the bigger picture, they aren't just isolated sentences. They encapsulate common actions, requests, and status updates that define so much of daily office interaction. They embody politeness, problem-solving, proactivity, instruction, all rolled into one. Take, for instance, the printer is out of ink. As you said, it's not just a statement of fact, it's a prompt for action.
Someone needs to do something.
Right. Either refill the ink cartridge, troubleshoot an error, find an alternative printer, all of which directly impact productivity. Similarly, please bring your notebook to the meeting is a clear directive. It ensures everyone is prepared to capture crucial information. Minimizing the need for follow-up questions or missed details later on, these phrases are truly the connective tissue of efficient teamwork, enabling fluid information exchange and task execution. They also speak to the expectation of, self-sufficiency and resourcefulness in an office environment, knowing how to report a problem or ask for what you need.
Exactly. Knowing the full phrase and the context in which it's used is crucial for both clarity and impact. It's not just about understanding the individual words, but how they combine to convey a complete thought, a specific request, or an urgent update. I really encourage you to actively listen for these specific structures in your own workplace or maybe in movies or TV shows set in offices. They'll become second nature with consistent practice.
And the subtle beauty of mastering these common phrases. It allows for an incredibly smooth, uninterrupted workflow. When you can articulate problems or requests precisely and politely, you immediately build a reputation for effective communication, both with your colleagues and with external contacts.
That's a huge benefit.
It is. The precise wording prevents ambiguity and ensures that everyone is literally on the same page, leading to quicker resolutions, fewer misunderstandings, more productive interactions. For example, knowing to say, "Could you connect the projector?" rather than, I don't know, "Can you plug in the screen thingy?" That can save valuable minutes of confusion before a crucial presentation. It's a small detail that has a significantly big impact on professional perception and operational fluidity. These phrases are like the grease in the gears of a complex machine, really, ensuring everything runs smoothly. Great analogy. Okay, now for the fun part. Time for a quick quiz. I'll describe something using its function or characteristics, and you, our listener, guess the correct word from our deep dive. No pressure at all, just a fun, engaging way to test your recall and see how well these terms are truly sticking. Are you ready? Let's go. Here's the first one. I'm a machine that takes your digital files, like a report on your computer, and puts them onto paper. Who am I? Pause. The answer is the printer. Did you get that one? Remember that specific function? Taking digital to physical. That's the key. If you just thought copy machine, you might be thinking of something else. All right, next up. You sit on me for many hours while you focus on your work at your desk. I can make your day much more comfortable, or much less so. Pause. The answer is the chair.
Simple, yet absolutely fundamental to your comfort and sustained productivity throughout the day, isn't it? A good one is worth its weight in gold. Moving on. I'm small, and you use me directly with your hand to write down notes or sign documents on paper. Pause. The answer is the pen. The trusty pen. Still indispensable despite all the digital tools at our disposal. Its tactile nature remains unbeatable for many tasks. Here's another one for you. I'm a large, smooth surface usually found in a meeting room. You can draw and write all over me with special markers and then easily wipe away your ideas when you're done. Pause. The answer is the whiteboard.
That's the magic of a whiteboard. It's dynamic, collaborative, allows for fluid thought processes without permanent commitment until you're truly ready to finalize ideas. It's a stage for collaboration.
Okay, getting a little trickier now. I'm a device that takes a physical document, like a signed contract perhaps, and converts it into a digital file. A file you can save on your computer or email to someone. Who am I? Pause. The answer is the scanner. That's right. Remember, physical to digital. It's the opposite journey of a printer. Getting that distinction is really important.
Yeah.
And one more for good measure. I am the primary central tool for almost all your digital tasks in the office, from emailing to complex data analysis. Many call me the most important piece of equipment. Pause. The answer is the computer. And there it is, the brain of modern work. How many did you get right? Great job no matter what. The goal here is active recall, bringing those words to the front of your mind and making them truly yours.
It's about building those neural pathways so these words become automatic.
Exactly, allowing you to focus on the message, not struggling with the vocabulary. Hashtag tag tag outro. Wow, what an insightful journey we've had today. Feels like we covered a lot of ground. We started by identifying a stack of essential office equipment, those core items. Then we listened to them come alive in action through that natural problem-solving dialogue.
That was a good example.
Yeah. And finally, we practiced indispensable practical phrases and tested our knowledge with a quick, engaging quiz. We've really taken those fundamental nuggets from everyday office English essentials and put them into real-world context, helping you understand not just what the words mean, but how they're used every single day to foster efficiency and collaboration.
And this deep dive, it's been meticulously designed to make you feel significantly more confident in your ability to communicate clearly and effectively in any office environment. It's truly about more than just vocabulary lists. It's about understanding the nuances of workplace interaction, the unwritten rules maybe, the expectations of professionalism, and the shared language that fosters efficiency and strong professional relationships. When you use the right words, you're not just speaking, you're demonstrating competence. You're building trust. You're signaling your readiness to contribute meaningfully.
Exactly. So remember to continue practicing. Practice speaking these words every single day. Actively seek them out in conversations, read them in emails, notice them around you, and don't be afraid to try them out yourself. The more you use them, the more natural your English will sound, and the more confident and capable you'll feel navigating any office conversation or task. Take these terms, make them your own, and actively integrate them into your daily interactions.
Absolutely. And, this deep dive into tangible office equipment, the Physical things. It raises an important question for you to consider. Beyond the physical items we've discussed today, what other everyday essentials of office communication might be just as crucial for your success?
Ooh, good question. Like what?
Well, think about common verbal greetings and farewells, how people start and end conversations politely, or specific meeting protocols like how to politely interrupt if you need to, or how to contribute effectively without dominating, or even the often overlooked realm of digital etiquette. In emails and chat messages, there are unwritten rules there too.
Definitely. Email tone is tricky.
It is. How do these unseen tools of language and behavior shape our workplace interactions? And how might you continue to deep dive into them to further enhance your overall communication prowess and become a truly well-rounded professional? It's a continuous journey, isn't it? A journey of learning and adaptation, and this focus on equipment is just one, albeit important, piece.
That's a truly fantastic and thought-provoking idea to leave with. Something more to explore. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been an absolute pleasure guiding you through this material and exploring its many facets with you.
We're already looking forward to our next deep dive together. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep communicating with confidence.